like end parts.
And we had what, 4 different groups of people at one point? 5 different groups of people?
I feel like that would have worked better if it was like an online like series, like splice it up into like 10-minute episodes. That's what it felt like. It felt like a web series.
Yes, that's exactly what it felt like.
Like, you know, like you start at the beginning with something, with a group of people, you enter a conflict, and then you've got the end climax. Then start next episode. Introduction, situation, fight, climax, next episode. That's what I felt like this was really like. And I felt like if you cut like 4 of those episodes out and just focus on like a couple of the key ones, like the one with Soundwave, the one with Optimus, and then the big end fight scene, I feel like you would have gotten such a more powerful feeling. Because like that last fight, the real last fight, was done so amazing that I felt like if it hadn't been drawn on and there were so many climaxes or false climaxes to begin with, I probably would have had chills watching that fight. Because it was really well done. There was some really great dialogue. It was dark. Like, really
it was very, very
dark.
I was trying to figure out why parents had 5-year-old children in the theater watching that movie.
I would have had chills, but the problem was I didn't, because it was so long and so exhausting. It was just like, can we end already?
Yes, it was.
Like, we were like.
It felt longer than Lord of the Rings has ever felt.
Exactly, because it was like, it's just, you know, people say like, I don't like certain movies because there's too much talking, it's boring. Well, what people don't understand is that action has the same effect. If there's too much acting, if there's too much action, like too much explosions and all that stuff, like, it can get boring too.
That was my big problem. I was quite bored.
There was a lot of bass explosions in this one.
Oh my god, yeah.
Explosions!
Everywhere. Lots of fireworks.
Yeah.
He was trying to pass off as explosions.
Happy 4th of July, people!
Alright, so,
we're getting a little long, so what are you gonna rate this movie?
What am I gonna rate it?
Yeah.
Redbox it. I can't even give it a
Rent
matinee.
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say rent it, definitely. There's, even if you're paying $8 or $6 for a matinee, I'm sorry. It's just one of those movies you want to be able to pause and say, I just have to pee. What are you gonna rate it?
I'm really kind of torn. Because
really?
it is a fun movie. It's just very exhausting and way, way, way too long. And like I said, compared to the other Transformers movie, this has actually got the most structure. And
I believe you. Yeah, I mean,
and it's a very entertaining movie. Problem is, I'm gonna have to go with the matinee. I'm gonna go with the matinee because, like, with all things considered, it is a popcorn movie. This is what you look for in a summer movie. Explosions, actions, and somewhat of a story.
Okay, I can give you that. It wasn't my cup of tea, personally.
And it was a bit long for my taste, but you know what? This is what I kind of look for in a Transformers movie. Some loose story,
yes,
recognizable Transformers, and lots of action. And that's what this movie was. It had lots of recognizable Transformers. And it had a story, a very Transformers-esque story. So, I mean, I'm going to go with matinee.
Okay.
All right.
I have to hold fast on my rent it. I'm sorry. But,
all right, that's fine.
But you're fine. I mean,
all right.
Totally
well, with that, we're really running long. So,
yeah.
With that, we bid you adieu.
Goodbye.
I'm Sam.
I'm Marissa.
And you've just been informed.
You may lose your faith in us, but never in yourselves. From here, the fight will be your own.
First we bring in the news, then we give you a little shiny little movie review. Now I let you know how to spend your geeky week with our Geek Planner. I gotta be honest, guys. Very much like the news, there wasn't very much news going on. There's not really much going on this week. First up with the DVDs, we've got 2 movies that I personally am not fully aware of. The first is Of Gods and Men. I'm sorry, I am not familiar with this movie.
Don't kill me.
The other is Blood Rain, the third wrench, reach, run, birch, that word. That word. That one right there. Yeah, that one. Yeah, right there. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the third installment of this direct-to-DVD movie series, featuring barbaric vampire lady warrior-esque stuff. Fun! Check it out! Looks to be this week's going to be a very funny weekend because both movies that are coming out this week in the theaters are comedies. The first is Zookeeper, where a very pudgy, sad-looking man who's a zookeeper gets dating advice from zoo animals. Wow. What a sad life you live. Tear. The other is Horrible Bosses. We've all had them. I know I've had. He steals money from me. Not a nice guy. But this one looks to be a lot of fun, filled with some really top-notch actors and some really great comedians, and a very simplistic but yet creative concept. Bunch of guys don't like their bosses, so they decide to kill them. Why not? Whee! Well, as you can clearly see, there's not very much going on this week. So why don't you check out some of our picks on how to spend your week? With the announcement of the Arrietty trailer, that's getting me and the rest of the people from the Geek Informant into the whole Miyazaki craze. So, with that, we advise you to join in with us. We suggest checking out some of his very famous classics, such as Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Both movies, I am dead certain there was no humanly possible way that he was sober when he did these movies. I suspect shrooms. Whee! And with that, that brings this episode to a close. Thank you for checking us out, and don't forget to check out the Pop Culture Network website and store. I mean, heck, any geek would love that place. Filled with DVDs, comic books, toys, all kinds of fun stuff. And heck, maybe you can even find some of our picks right there on the store. By purchasing some of the stuff from there, you help us making more shows such as this one, or other shows like the great Pop Culture Network classic, That New Toy Smell. Well, with that, I gotta go, because I think my pizza's burning. You ever have burnt pizza? It's not very tasty. So, with that, I'm Sam Brewer, the Geek Informant, and you have just been informed. Don't burn pizza!